Hello everyone, and welcome to Test Run. I'm your host, Code Marvelous, and today I'm again joined by Seamus from Scotland.
Hey, Dan.
So tell me a little bit about just kind of high level what we should be mulliganing for in this Hydra Ag Infusion that we're going to be playing.
So money is important, unsurprisingly. Every deck wants to see a money card in the opening hand, but you can end up in a real sticky spot if you don't get money. A lot of your ice is expensive. Your scoring isn't cheap. You're advancing 4 times to get an Issei, and you're probably having to res something to protect it. What a good hand looks like can vary quite dramatically. If you've got like a hedge, a mother goddess, and either a fast track or a Issei in hand, like that can look very good for just, getting a really early score, and then that supports everything else you're trying to do. However, that's what a bad hand looks like. No money and 2 agendas, so we can get rid of that straight away.
Back into the pit it goes. This isn't
Yeah.
terrible.
So this is quite good. The thing you might want to consider, though, is installing some ice and playing the Celeb Gift the next turn, just to preserve some of the surprise. Because,
Sure.
if we Celeb Gift and install one of those on HQ, the runner should, well, that's better. What I would maybe consider doing then is... So there's 2 options. You either install 2 bits of ice and draw a card so that you can Celeb Gift for full value next turn, or you Celeb Gift and protect HQ with the DNA tracker, because they're not going to want to hit that. We've only got 8 agendas, so we can be reasonably confident in R&D. I say Celeb Gift, DNA on HQ.
Sounds good to me. What a lovely control deck this is. Ah, money for me,
fantastic.
money for you, money for everybody. It feels good. I like how there's
Yep.
no game loss in our time on the internet. Like, all right, look at this. Another DNA tracker.
Yeah, so what are you thinking here? Because I think I know what I want to do with this.
I would maybe draw once and then put a piece of ice down. Or actually, no.
So-
I guess what we could probably do here is probably do like DNA and a roto turret. Nah, we can't do that. What would you do?
So DNA on R&D is good. I would consider DNA on R&D and then Rototurret Tithonium in that order on the remote, because that means we can look at scoring next turn.
So you mean roto turret as the outside ice?
No, Rototurret on the inside, just because it's cheaper. So if we only have to res one of them, we'll res the Roto.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is not something I'm super familiar with. I think I took it to like a 1 casual tournament in our area. Oh, and that was a previous build. Jinteki as a whole is like a mystery to me. Gang sign,
Okay.
not surprising.
Goddamn gang sign builds. Yeah, so I would just install advance that Nisei. They're not going to want to run.
Right, and this is the play that I love, that I saw a lot at Worlds, which is, yeah, come get this Obakata, but it's not an Obakata, it's a Nisei.
Well, I mean, they should know that that's an Nisei because we have Celeb gifted them,
Ooh.
but it means that... Oh, yeah, that's fine. Just let them through.
Spending those resources coming in.
I don't know why on earth they wouldn't inside job the remote if they have,
I think.
And also, I don't know why they would trash Navi. Like, there can't be much in their deck that affects.
Well, if they had inside jobbed the remote and the inside piece of ice had been a DNA tracker, they would have died there.
Oh, fair point. I mean, they could have jacked out if we res the first piece, but whatever. So yeah, advance, see what they bounce.
Tasty.
They'll probably bounce a piece of remote ice, I guess, which is kind of fine. We don't really care about that right now. Oh, interesting. Yeah, just pop that back on R&D.
Feels good.
Yeah. So, like, this is a matchup. Like, gang sign decks are dumb and bad, but, if you happen to draw, like...
Tell me how you really feel. Are we just going to jam?
No, I would maybe even like hedge credit because you don't want to draw more cards, increasing the odds of there being an agenda. But like we're a bit poor to score that right now. So
Sure.
like next turn, I would consider install advance.
Sure. And this is we might end up having to do 2 games because what we're showing here is what this deck can often do, which is just say, hey, let's go fast.
Yeah.
When we, have the ability to do so. Okay, so what are we doing?
Let's think. So if we install advance, they're going to get a bounce and an access on centrals, which is a bummer. How much do we care about them getting a run on R&D? Do these decks run Equivocation? I don't think they do they?
The gang sign decks sometimes run Equivocation as their closer.
Yeah, let's install advance, and then we can take stock of where we are next turn. I still don't think they'll challenge it. And if they do, we can kill a gang sign with the Tithonium sub.
This feels good. They're also on very bad breakers.
Yes. I mean, Turtle's not bad here, so they've now got an answer to Roto Turret. But, if it gets to the point where... I wonder if they're about to put a Tapworm down. That would be annoying.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Tapworm's a fine card, Seamus.
What a card that has turned out to be.
Yeah, it's either a hyperdriver or it's money forever.
I mean, who would have thought, like, in 2017, the correct court play could be Purge for 4 turns in a row?
Hey,
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes you gotta. That's the one thing I loved about my Titan deck, is I was just like, fuck your Tapworms to people, because I had 3 CVS.
Oofed.
So a lot of times to get the quick clear, if they had 1,
interesting.
I'd purge. All right, so we're just gonna do it, right? We're just gonna res this to
you res
wreck
that.
their life.
Completely.
Yep. All right. No.
Nope.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and tell people that we should, trash that.
So now, hold on. Let them use the SatCon and then trash the Turtle again.
Because it's 2 different subs. And then we're gonna
and then kill the gang sign. Yeah.
Feels good, man. That value.
Okay.
Score it, I imagine.
I think actually we can afford to be safe and not give up central accesses. We don't have to. Even if we draw an agenda, we've killed their gang sign. So I would say, like, advance it once. And then let's medical research and click for a credit. Because our ice is still expensive, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, about the most challenging thing they could do here, I imagine, is inside job that remote, but we can just... Oh, here we go. Yeah. So we just res the Roto Turret when they come in. Kill that Abagnale as well. Oh, well, they've got a SatCon, but I'd rather use the SatCons keeping their bad breakers alive than keeping Tapworm on the board.
Yeah, they've already eaten through 2 SatCons. It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, the Tapworm's going down.
Sure.
All right. Do we want to purge here? Do we want to score out?
So they're going to start their turn on 3 cards. They've not got either of the breakers. Yeah. You could just purge, actually, because we're going to want to play that Celeb Gift at some point for value. So sitting and drawing, like letting cards trickle in off our mandatories is good. Yeah.
And they can't contest that Obokata anyway, because they'd have to draw up to card and also get both breakers that they need down. So there's another one going down. But time is on our side. Do it again?
So we've got the... No, I think because they've got a gang sign down now, let's score that when we're not going to risk an agenda off the gang sign access.
That makes a lot of sense.
So now their gang signs don't do anything. So that's
Right.
like 2 more cards in their deck that are useless. And then we just pop the other ice down. They're going to get 2 credits off Tapworm. That's fine. We'll purge next turn.
So you want me to just put the DNA tracker back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Things are going pretty well thus far.
Yeah. No disrespect to our opponent. Gang Sign Leela is not a very good deck.
Well, I mean, sitting back and waiting is not good when a lot of the Corp decks are very fast and can do a lot of things with a uncontested setup.
Agreed. So yeah, I think so we're gonna have to purge 2 turns in a row, but we don't have an agenda. How much do we care about their money at this point? So they will have a barrier breaker. It's probably the in-faction one. Is it Lustig?
Damara?
Damara, that's right.
Such a piece of hot garbage.
So I think there's 2 approaches we can take. We can purge and just rely on our remote being nuts, which I think is fine. Or we could draw for an agenda and just try and close out the game before they're ready for it. I think purge. We've got a lot of answers that we've not yet drawn.
Yep. Oh, he just let the
interesting.
Tapworm go.
I guess he's maybe worried about program trashing, or they're worried about program trashing rather.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable. Yeah, this isn't looking terrible for them. Unfortunately for them, I believe our play next turn, depending on what we draw, will be Celeb Gift, Tithonium on Archives.
Celeb Gift, Tithonium on Archives?
Yeah.
Feels good, man.
Let's just get rid of that turtle.
What an interesting deck this is.
So what we should do next turn as well, if we don't draw an agenda, is we should pop that tech startup in the remote, and then we can go and get MCA Austerity.
Try to fast advance out the last agenda.
Yeah,
or,
well, it just
and
gives us
slow them down. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would draw a card. Yeah, pop the tech startup in, and then
Hippo.
Yep. Hippo.
Initial public offering.
We would like to offer the public a Hydra. Oh, that's annoying.
That is really annoying.
They've got paperclip. Fair enough.
Clippy's going down.
Interesting. Is there anything we can go and get with that we care about? No.
Go get
So you can just ignore it.
Yeah.
We can, but we don't want to spend our clicks taking money at the moment. We can just pop the... so what do we want to do? Let's put a Batty and the MCA in the remote, and then we'll click the MCA. And ditch Vanilla.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, because now we're just waiting for an agenda. And, well, not that agenda. Other agendas.
Well, I mean, we can score that out of hand if we really need to.
Ugh. Okay, so we're resin DNA tracker, right?
This is terrible for them.
Hashtag feels bad, man. Oh, it's so bad. It's so much money.
So they were on like 20 credits like 2 clicks ago.
Yep. So we're not booping them out. We're not Nisaying them out. I imagine.
Oh god. They can take that Future Perfect if they want. Was that IT department getting mod?
That is correct.
That's fine.
Hey, they were kind enough to thin out our hand for us. Isn't that just so nice of them?
That's the good thing about Netrunner. We're all friends here. So what are the 2 things we want to do? I think probably the most straightforward play and probably the correct one is just Celeb Gift and click MCA. The other thing, because... Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
No.
The only other thing I would have considered was putting an ice on Archives, because there's a Tithonium there, which we don't really want to res now that they've got Paperclip. Sure. But putting another bit of ice there, we just bounce them into the DNA tracker again, which is jokes.
What are we pitching here?
Let's ditch Cortex Lock. We don't need 2 of those.
Celebrity Gift is really incredible, like bounce back money.
Yeah, it's really lucky that it was saved in rotation. Otherwise, I don't think this deck works. You'd have to have such weird econ.
Yeah. You could always play more melanges. You could go up to 4 melanges.
I mean, you could.
All right, so they're inside jobbing in here.
Fine. I guess they played a couple of Fisks and think we might be more flooded than we are, but we have Celeb Gifted, so... Yeah.
Wow, they whiffed again.
Oof.
Okay. We can just end the game, because we can click austerity policy, right?
Yeah, correct.
So we hit this. We gained 4 in trash.
Yeah.
Put that shit down. And then we say, thank you very much for the fine game.
Yeah. Thank you, our opponent. You played valiantly, but don't play gang signs. Be a cool person.
Be a cool person. Hey, gang signs are very cool. Some people would say that the gang sign is probably makes you the coolest runner.
Those people are wrong, man.
I just like the theming of like gang sign decks, especially when it's in Ian, where it's just like this old spy who's like in with like the street gangs. They're like he's cool.
Yeah, they like him.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's a really resilient deck. Like it's crazy how many options and lines of play this deck gives you.
Yeah, like it's really. That was so funny when we had the tech startup down and they made us draw all our assets. Yeah, like MCA is great as well. Like particularly against non-shapers, you know, we found like Anarch decks with Opus could quite effectively remote camp as well because your program trashes are less effective against them because they're generally on like full bin breakers.
Sure.
So just like having something that forces them to run that, you know, isn't as time consuming and click intensive as IT department was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's worth noting, like, Jinteki has the weirdest ice. Like, Jinteki has, like, this weird space that they now occupy, where if you build your deck to break things that are common in HB and Wayland and NBN consistently and effectively, you get these weird numbers on a lot of Jinteki ice, where your breakers just do not break those things very well.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ike is such a pain in the arse now that Yogg doesn't exist.
Right.
Like, 3 credits and you risk letting PU make you draw cards if they want to. It's gross. On the subject of weird ice, we didn't talk about it on the deck building segment, but I was having a real crisis of faith in myself and the deck the week before Worlds. Like, we played like 4 or 5 games on the plane, and I lost them all. Played a few games in the hotel, and I lost them all. And it's like, fuck, what is happening to me? And in a moment of confusion and sadness, I was testing Conundrum in the deck.
Wow.
Yeah, which I don't think is terrible, but it's not quite good enough.
It's certainly not great.
Yeah, I think it's almost great, or it's almost good.
Yeah,
it's got sweet art.
That's where you and I live. Like with all of our stealth, it's almost great. But yeah, no, this is just it's a really fine deck. Thank you so much for coming on and kind of walking us through it. You know, we didn't get to fire the IT department, but I think
that's probably good though. Like, if you're considering picking up this deck, don't get fixated on the IT department. Like, it's very good, but it's not the only way you win. It's frequently not the fastest way you can win, and sometimes it's not even the easiest way you can win.
Right.
So, like, definitely don't get fixated on one of the assets. That's frequently when you lose.
Yeah. I think one of the things that made this deck really interesting to a lot of people who are watching the various cut games and people who are just standing around and spectating all of the UK people who are playing it is because of the flexibility of this build, it's all piloting. Like, this deck is like purely pilot based.
Yep.
So there's a lot of ways that if you play well, you can kind of steal the game or take the game completely out of the hands of your opponent. But if you're not paying attention or getting too fixated, as you said, on specific plays, you can also just hand your opponent the game.
Yeah, I mean, so when like the wider UK team started playing the deck, their immediate reactions were like, I don't get this. This seems bad. And then, with practice, a number of people did really well with it. I think we had myself and Alex in the cut, and apologies if I'm forgetting anyone, but Chris and Tom, at least on day 2, both on Hydra. So there's quite a learning curve to it, but once you get that weird rhythm of like, when do I need to use this remote for an asset? When do I need to make 2 remotes? When do I need to abandon plan A for plan B, C, D? Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's like the stages of grief, but it's like the stages of Hydra, where you have to it's denial, acceptance. But yeah, man, it's good. I like it a lot. Jinteki continues to be largely a mystery for me, but I'm trying new things. I've just never I don't know. One of these years, Wayland will be good.
I'm so sad that Wayland wasn't good this year.
I feel like all the good players audibled off. There was a ton of people who I knew were playing Titan, and then the day of the tournament weren't playing Titan.
Yeah, I feel like Titan's almost there, and we were talking about it at Worlds. You do get those coin flip, oh yeah, I drew all my atlases before you found an SMC stuff, but if that doesn't happen, I don't think there's a lot of play you can make to get yourself out of holes.
Right. Yeah, it's very tough, especially if I had been on Titan. I mean, I did terribly, but if I had been on Titan with the amount of Haley I had been against, I probably would have just crashed into a side of a mountain over and over and over again. But yeah, Seamus, thank you very much for coming on. You can find Seamus at Theophilus Bagpiper at WordPress, and also you and Rob post on the Reddit and the Facebook as well, yes?
Yeah, we're on Twitter as at Theo Bagpiper as well.
Nice. So, yeah, as always, thank you for coming on the show, Seamus.
Thank you very much for having me.
And this is the deck. Check it out. I'm going to put links to the list in the write-up in the show notes below, and also a link to Theophilus Bagpiper. And until we see all of you fine people again, always be running.